Good morning, dear students. How are you? And welcome to YouTube channel of Proton. This is part 7 of human digestive system. And in previous chapter, in previous video, we have studied about the very important portion of buccal cavity is called teeth. And somehow um, we have studied about dental formula, and remaining portion I will repeating today again. So let's start without delaying. So first of all, what is dental formula? So students, I have written here that it represents the arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and lower jaw in the sequence of I, C, PM and M. Try to understand that what is said about by what do you mean by dental formula? Dental formula says that it represents the arrangement of teeth. Means our teeth, if we talk about the arrangement of teeth, so how can you explain the arrangement of teeth? So we can explain the arrangement of teeth by the dental formula. So it is well approved formula. By it tells about the arrangement of the teeth in our buccal cavity. So what is said dental formula? Dental formula says that the arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and lower jaw in the sequence of I stands for incisor, C stands for canines, PM stands for premolars, and M stands for molar teeth. Clear, students? So for better understand, I draw a rough diagram here that this is complete our buccal cavity. Let's understand what is this. This is complete our buccal cavity. I divides this buccal cavity into two portions, and we can say that I divides this complete buccal cavity means upper jaw and lower jaw. I divides it into two hemispheres or two halves. Clear? So upper half is known as upper jaw and lower half is known as lower jaw. Clear, students? And again I divides these two hemispheres into four quadrants, and we can say that four halves. Clear? So this is the half of upper jaw. This portion is the half of upper jaw. This portion is the remaining half of upper jaw. This portion is the half of lower jaw, and this portion is the remaining half of lower jaw. Clear, students? So dental formula says that the numbers of teeth found in each half of each jaw. Clear, students? What I want to say that the numbers of teeth found in each half of the upper and each half of the lower jaw, and after that then we get the number of teeth in each half of the upper jaw and each half of the lower jaw. We add them, and after adding we multiply them with 2, and then we get the total numbers of teeth. Clear? So let's understand that if total number of teeth of a formula is multiplied by 2, it will given number of teeth. For example, dental formula of human adults. What is the dental formula of human adult? See here that these are the incisors found in this half of upper jaw. Clear? Numbers of incisors 2. Clear, students? I write here the numbers of incisors in this half. Clear? Numbers of canines in this half, numbers of premolar in this half, and numbers of molar in this half. So I put the numbers of teeth found in each upper jaw, half of each upper jaw, and in upon I write the numbers of teeth found in each half of lower jaw. This half of the lower jaw. So the numbers of teeth found in two incisors, and 1 canines, 2 premolars and 3 molars. After we getting the numbers of teeth in this half, upper half and lower half, we add them. So add, what is the addition of these? 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 5 plus 3 8, 8 multiply 2 equals to 16. Clear students? Now 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5 and 5 plus 3 equals to 16. The addition of upper numbers of upper teeth, numbers of teeth in found in each half of upper row, number of 16 teeth, and here numbers of teeth is 16, because 8 multiply 2, here 8 multiply 2, 16 plus 16 equals to 32. So we can say that these are the numbers of teeth found in human adults. So by dental formula we get the numbers of teeth in each creature's buccal cavity. Clear students? So here I put the I understand, and you can also understand that how can we arise the numbers of teeth in each creature's buccal cavity. Clear? In short, we can say that 2 1 2 3 multiply 2 upon 2 1 2 3 into 2 equals to 32. Similarly, if you want to know about the dental formula of human childs, says that the age group of 3 years 4 years. Clear? So what is the dental formula of human child? Incisors are same 2 by 2, canines are same 1 by 1, premolars are same 0. Premolars are not same. Premolars is not found in human child. So premolars numbers is 0. Here molars number are 2 by 2, while the molars in human adults is 3 by 3. Here 1 molars are less. Clear? So numbers of molars, if we add the addition of this 10 means 5 multiply 2 equals to 10. Similarly below we add and we find 5 and multiply 2, so numbers of teeth in each jaw equals to 10 and 10. Clear? Here 10 and here 10. So numbers of teeth, we get the number of teeth by the multiply by 2. So numbers of teeth are found here 20. Clear friends? So in short we can say 2102, 21 upon 2102 multiply 2 equals to 20. If we talk about the dental formula of 17-year-old humans, why I say only 17 year? Why I have written only 17 year, especially 17-year-old human? Why? Anyone know? Okay, I tell you that you know very well the numbers of molars, or we can say numbers of third molar have to start to erupt in the year of 18, means age group of 18s. It is start to erupt in the 18-year-old humans. So we 17 and 18 years are the special age group in humans. So we can say that the dental formula changed in 17 and 18-year-old humans. What is the dental formula? Incisors are 2 by 2, canines are 1 by 1, premolars are 2 by 2, molars are 2 by 2, and then we find the total number of each half and we multiply 2, we get 28 the numbers of teeth in human of 17-year-old, and we find in short 2122 upon 2122 multiply 2 equals to 28. So total number of teeth are found in human child is 28. Clear students? So students, this is all about the teeth, and entire descriptions of teeth are completed here. Clear students? Now we will start next organ found in buccal cavity, that is known as tongue. So let's start without delaying. So students, what is tongue? Anyone know? Okay. So look here, that what is tongue? It is located on the floor of the oral cavity. Where it is located? It is located on the floor of the oral cavity. Means this is our complete oral cavity where the buccal cavity, it is also known as buccal cavity. And what is buccal cavity? Buccal cavity is the blank space where teeth and other organs like tongue and salivary glands are found. So tongue is found on the floor of the oral cavity. Where it is located? It is found not upper chambers, not the palate, not on the palate. It is found on the ground level. It is found the bottom of the buccal cavity. We can say in other word, where is located? It is located on the bottom of the oral cavity. This is the situation where the tongue is located. Clear, students? In next point, what is said next point? It is a muscular, flat, fleshy, palate-like structure. You know very well. You feel that your tongue. What is tongue? Tongue is muscular. Why I call it muscular? Because you know very well tongue is the structure where there is no bones found. In our tongue there is no bones. Clear, students? But muscles found. So this is muscular organ. Fleshy means most of portions are made of watery substance. So it is a fleshy structure. It is a flat structure. Not it is rough structure. It is very flat structure. You know very well that fleshy plate. It is look like just a plate. We can you feel it is also, and plate-like structure. So what about the tongue? Tongue is a muscular, flat, fleshy, plate-like structure. It is all about the tongue structures. Clear, students? Next point. What is say? The posterior part of the tongue is attached with the hyoid bone. So you must remember, students, that the posterior part. What is posterior part? Posterior means, if I look the marker, this is the anterior portion of marker. Clear? Means we can say another word. This is the mouth portion, mouth part. It is the back part. It is the last part, end part. So this is the anterior part and this is posterior parts. So if I look our tongue, we can say this is the tip of the tongue is known as anterior part, and the behind the portion where tongue is attached in the bottom of the buccal cavity. So this part is known as posterior part. So we can say the posterior part of the tongue is attached with the hyoid bones. Students, you must remember only the posterior part only attached, and anterior part, while anterior part of the tongue becomes free to move. You know very well, this is anterior part is free to move. Anterior part of the tongue is free to move, and posterior part attached with a bone called hyoid bone. So you must remember the name of the bones and which part is attached and which part is free. So you can you also remember, you have to remember. Now you can better understand what is posterior part and what is anterior part. So let's add. Ventral surface of the tongue is connected to the floor or oral cavity. We have already discussed about the about this point when we know about the location of the floor. So I repeat again that ventral surface. What is ventral surface? This is the dorsal surface. Upper surface is known as dorsal surface, and the lower surface, bottom surface, is known as ventral surface. So I write here that ventral surface of the tongue is connected to the floor of oral cavity. So ventral surface is connected with the tongue. Ventral surface is connected to the floor of the oral cavity, means bottom of the oral cavity. So it is clear to you now. Next, in this point we can say ventral surface of the tongue is connected to the floor of oral cavity by a ligamentous membranous fold called frenulum lingui. So what is said, students? What I want to say, that the ventral surface of tongue is connected to the floor of the oral cavity. You know very well, and which structure it is connected, which structure with it is connected, the name of the structure which by which the tongue is connected. So the name of the structure it is called frenulum linguae. Must be remember what is the name of the structure which by which the tongue is connected by the on the ventral surface of the tongue. See, so look here, this is called frenulum linguae. You can feel it in easy way when you fold your tongue, when you move upward direction, you fold upward direction. Look at my mouth clearly, this is upward direction. On the floor of the buccal cavity, you also feel a thread-like structure by which our tongue is connected to the lower floor, means floor of the oral cavity. This is students, you can also feel this ligamentous thread-like structure, मतलब ligamentous membrane thread-like structure is called frenulum linguae. This is called frenulum linguae. Clear, students? You can feel it also by the folding of your tongue. You can feel it. Next point, muscles of tongue. You know very well there is no bones found in tongue, but there are two important muscles are found in our tongue by which tongue plays various plays various functions. Play various functions. What is the name of the muscles? First is extrinsic muscles. First one is extrinsic muscles, you can see here, and second one is intrinsic muscle. Intrinsic muscles. What is intrinsic muscles? It helps in outward and inward movement of the tongue. You can also know that we can the anterior part of our tongue is free. So by this facility we are able to move our tongue in outward and backward, upward, and we can move our tongue and change the directions and change the shape of the tongue by this facility. So what is the functions of extrinsic muscles? What is the function of extrinsic muscles? The functions, it plays an important role to help in the outward and inward movement of the tongue. Outward movement means we by these muscles we can easily move our tongue outward, means out of the mouth, and back to the back in the mouth, like this. Clear, students? So this is done by the extrinsic muscles. Clear, students? Next, intrinsic muscles. What is the role of intrinsic muscles? It helps to the change of shape of our tongue. We can move, we can provide any kind of shape in our tongue like this. Clear? So it helps to the change the shape of the tongue. This is the function of intrinsic muscles. Clear, students? Now we are discussing about the functions of tongue. What is the important functions done by tongue? So we are discussing, first one is tongue contains various taste buds, glands at different locations. That's why we are able to recognize various types of taste as sweet, sour, bitter, salty, etc. So students, you know very well that this is the diagram of our tongue, and I am not talking about the internal structure of the tongue. I am talking about the functions. What is the functions played by the tongues? So what role play by the tongue? So you know very well, this is the basic structure of our tongue, and tongue helps to the tongue have many taste buds. Tongue have many taste buds in by which we recognize various types of taste such as sour, sweet, bitter, salty, etc. So these are the regions where the taste buds are found, and we feel various types of tastes. So this is the region where the sweet taste, we feel sweet taste, means tip of the tongue is responsible for the taste of sweet substance. Clear? And the posterior portion of the tongue is responsible for the taste of the bitter substance. Clear? And the margins of the tongue, upper margin of the tongue means near the posterior end, the margins of the tongue are responsible for the taste of the sour substance. Similarly, the margin of the tongue near the anterior end, this is responsible for the taste of salty substance. So these are the locations of the tongue where we feel various types of taste. Clear? And why we feel various types of taste? Because there are taste buds found on the various locations of the tongue. So this is the prime function of tongue. It plays a major role by feel us various types of taste. So it is called taste receptor. So it is a taste receptor organ in our buccal cavity. Second function is help in the speaking. What have to speak? You know very well that when we move our tongue and touch upper palate, especially, then we touch the soft palate, then we then we produce something, and then we able to speak something. So by help of the tongue we can speak easily. And if there is no tongue in our buccal cavity, and there is some persons are not able to speak something when they does not found any tongue in their buccal cavity. So tongue plays very important role to speaking something. Clear, students? The third function, help in mixing food with saliva. You know very well, after the mastication of food, some salivary secretions are secrete and releases from salivary glands. These salivary secretions saliva are mixing with the food, and this role played by tongue. You know very well, tongue move the food particles here and there during the mixing of saliva substance. Clear? So tongue help in the mixing food with the saliva. This is another important functions. Next functions, help to remove food particles which are fixed in teeth. You know very well, during when we eat some fibrous substances as a food, then somehow some of them are fixed in our jaw sockets, in our teeth, between our two teeth. Clear? Then tongue help to remove these food particles which are fixed in our teeth. So students, these are the basic functions and important functions of the tongue, and this is all about the tongue and the entire buccal cavity, and we can say entire mouth portions of digestive systems have completed today. Sorry, not say completed. We have studied. We will study about the salivary glands when we study some special digestive glands in last. So then we will study about the salivary glands. We can say that this is the completions of mouth. This is completions of digestive organs found in mouth. Clear, students? So this is all about the mouth, and I think there is no remaining portions are found in tongue. So this is all about the mouth. In next video, upcoming video, we will discussing about the next portion of our digestive systems, pharynx. So thanks a lot, students, for watching me. You can take a screenshot for better understanding. Thank you, students.